The next few weeks are crucial for the price of Bitcoin and for the price of all cryptocurrencies. Looking at the price right now, Bitcoin has fallen and touched its previous all-time low support for the past couple of months. However, the next few days will determine if that trend breaks or if it stays. And looking at the entire market right now as a whole, you can see that a lot of your coins are down and they are following the same trend that BTC is following. You can see in the past day, most of your coins are down anywhere from 3 to 5%, so not too much. In the past week, we have recovered quite a bit for some of your coins. Of course, other coins are down as well, but it's mostly in your AI coins like FET, Injective, Near, and also your meme coins like Pepe and Bonk. You can see Kaspa is also doing well right now, so a lot of your layer 1 coins are also doing well. If you look in your top 200 coins, you can see in the past week we've had a lot of upwards movement. So we've had things like Popcat do very well, we've had things like Ocean, like Mog, so more or less the same picture. So your meme coins and your AI coins are the ones breaking the trend, but in the past day, right, most of your coins are also still down. So more than likely, right, altcoins are following the same trend as Bitcoin, at least most of them, and they will continue to do so until we get that break in Bitcoin dominance. Let's actually take a look at Bitcoin dominance, right? This is going to determine when altcoin season begins. And as you can see, we had this giant red candle yesterday. We actually had a really good day for the altcoin market, but Bitcoin went down, and right now Bitcoin is recovering. You can see Bitcoin dominance is slowly going up once again, so we're not seeing those consecutive red candles, which means, right, altcoin season is still on the horizon, and we are going to continue to stay in this green range that I've outlined for the foreseeable future, right? So this green box right here, that is going to be the main area that which we stay in. It's not going to be broken anytime soon, right? Unless we get a retest of these lower 50% ranges, altcoin season is still going to be in the future. Altcoins right now are still going to be relatively correlated to Bitcoin. They're basically going to be tied together. What Bitcoin does is going to almost directly influence the altcoin market, other than, you know, those meme coins or those a few AI coins that I outlined. There's always going to be exceptions, but more than likely 90% of the coins are going to follow Bitcoin right now. And what does that mean, right? That means that the Bitcoin price action is the most important chart you should look at for the near future. Just taking a look at areas of support. This area of support right here at the 64K was broken, of course, and then we are now testing this 60K to 61K area of supports. Now this was broken slightly, and it tested this 200 EMA line, which I outlined, but now we've bounced back. We're at 61K and we are testing this area, and I believe if this area holds, right, we're going to see basically the same thing that happened in April, where we test it and then we consolidate and then bounce back and retest these 70K all-time highs. So if that happens, right, we could definitely go back here relatively soon, maybe in the next month or so, but there's a chance that doesn't happen, right? There's a chance that doesn't happen, and if that does not happen, then we are going to retest this area at the 51K to 53K. That is the other area of support, and if this happens, it's going to be a little bit scary because we haven't actually tested this range as an area of support, right? It's been an area of resistance, but not an area of support. So that would be a very bearish sign if we, let's say, consolidate here and then retest these lower 51K ranges. I don't see that happening, but it's always a possibility. I just want to outline all of the possibilities for you guys, and I'll make like a quick prediction, right? So these are my two predictions. It either consolidates and then goes up and retests this 70K range. In this scenario where we actually go up and retest these 70K highs is around a 90% possibility. I think that is very, very likely, and I would not be surprised if that happens, right, in the next month or a couple of weeks. But there's also the possibility that we go down and retest this yellow zone right here. This I would give a 10% possibility, because yes, this is very possible because we do have this area of support right here and we are hitting a double top, right? We are retesting kind of the swing lows, but more than likely this is not going to happen. So that's why I'm giving it a 10% chance right here. And the thing is, if this 90% possibility where we retest the 70K happens, then you can kind of expect the same thing to happen to your altcoins, right? You can expect some of your altcoins to kind of stay at a similar price they are now, but you're also going to see a lot of other coins start to make massive moves up, like we saw in this last rally right here. You're going to see a couple of your meme coins absolutely pop off, right? Things like Brett and Turbo will continue going up. A lot of your AI coins right now are very hot, so they most likely will go up if we hit this range right here. And then maybe some surprising other coins, right? Maybe DeFi makes a comeback. This 90% chance scenario is definitely the scenario that we want, but there's also the possibility of this 10% chance, and if that happens, I definitely expect a lot of panic selling. This 58, 59, 60K range has played a vital support zone for Bitcoin in the past couple of months, ever since basically March, when we had this massive run up to 70K. And I believe that if we do break this support zone right here in that the high 50K range, going back down to the next area of support, which is that low 50K range, is going to happen. And if that happens, expect all of your altcoins to follow in the same path, right? Expect minus 30, 40% from today's price for all of your altcoins, and that's just the reality of it, right? I want to give you guys all of the scenarios that I see in this chart, and those are the two scenarios. But with that said, the fact that we have not had altcoin season yet means that altcoins are still at a relatively safe spot. Now, what do I mean by that, right? What do I mean relatively safe? Oh, you just said altcoins could go down another 30-40% if we get that, that 10% scenario. Well, that's not safe. Well, what I mean by that is we know that altcoin season is still in the horizon. We know that this right here, all right, let me just draw out for you guys. We know that this is coming. So we still have this as a scenario that has not played out yet. Once we see this fall in Bitcoin dominance, whenever it might be, maybe it's in October, once we see this fall in Bitcoin dominance, what's going to happen is the prices of your altcoins are going to go up relative to Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is going to get weaker. So let's say Bitcoin is at 100K, when it's at its peak right here. So let's say Bitcoin keeps going up, and then it peaks out maybe at this 57%. Let's just say Bitcoin's at 100K. What's going to happen when we see this fall in Bitcoin dominance is the price of Bitcoin isn't necessarily going to decrease, right? Bitcoin could be at maybe 100K, and then during this period of altcoin season, it could maybe go down to like 80K and then kind of consolidate there. But you're going to see the price of your altcoins skyrocket relative to that. So let's just use maybe Kaspa as an example, right? So Kaspa right now is sitting at around 15 cents. So once Bitcoin dominance decreases, you're going to see Kaspa go to 30 cents, 40 cents, 50 cents, 60 cents. While Bitcoin is still staying at that $100,000 range. And all of your altcoins are going to do that, right? Some altcoins are going to perform better than others, of course. There's going to be maybe a few that, because maybe some bad news, they actually don't do well. But a majority of your altcoins are going to go up in price relative to Bitcoin. If Bitcoin stays the same, the altcoins are going to go up 2, 3, 4x minimum. And that's something that's happened in the past 2-3 cycles. It's happened every single cycle, and it will continue to do so as long as Bitcoin stays that number one coin, that top coin, which it will be, right? Bitcoin, every single cycle, Bitcoin gets stronger and stronger and stronger, and it will continue to be that top coin for the foreseeable future. So that means that this cycle, this Bitcoin dominance decrease leading into altcoin season, will also continue cycle after cycle after cycle. This is the concept I want to drill into you guys. Of course, I'm not a financial advisor, right? I am just basing this off of the history of not only crypto, but also Bitcoin in general, right? This is just a historical analysis. This isn't a financial analysis. This is based on history. And history, right, it never repeats itself, but it often rhymes, right? And this rhyming of Bitcoin dominance decrease is going to keep happening. When it's going to happen, right, I can't predict the future. I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. But if it was up to me, if I had to put all my money on it, I would say somewhere in late 2024, right, would be my best guess. Maybe early 2025. You never know. Whenever that monetary policy comes back, I mentioned it to you guys in my previous video, right? Whenever monetary policy, when we get a decrease in the interest rates, that is going to be very, very good for Bitcoin. Let me just pull it up. So when the Fed cuts interest rates, which it plans on doing one cut in late 2024, which lines up perfectly with a decrease in Bitcoin dominance, right? And also it lines up with this, right? This is basically global liquidity. You can see right now we are still at pretty low global liquidity, but every single time when we get to the end of the year, we see this rise in global liquidity. And this lines up perfectly with my prediction of the end of the year, we get a top off of Bitcoin and a decrease in Bitcoin dominance, right? So I think I predicted this in one of my previous videos around November 2024. I could be completely wrong with this, right? If you watch this video when it's after November 2024 and this doesn't happen, right, don't blame me, but this is just my prediction based on the history that I see. Of course, there's also this possibility of no interest rate cuts, and if that happens, right, we could see some delay in altcoin season, but either way, it's going to happen, and when it happens, right, you're going to be very happy, and you're going to see everything rise. And once again, guys, I want you guys to know about exit plan. This is very important. Once altcoin season happens, once you see a decrease in Bitcoin dominance, an exit plan is the most important concept. I'll make a video relatively soon about that. But the simple principle of an exit plan is to realize that this is going to happen, right? You're going to see euphoria and you're going to feel like you're unstoppable, but you want to take profit before that feeling. So if, let's say, Bitcoin tops off at 150K, right? You're not going to know that, right? You're not going to know that that's the top off. You're not going to know what the top is for anything, right? Once we actually get full euphoria, I am not going to make any price predictions in any of my videos, right? Once Kaspa hits $1, right? I'm not going to tell you guys, hey, keep buying Kaspa. It's going to 150, it's going to $2. I'm not going to do that for you guys because that is just going to lose people money. I've seen it time and time again. In 2021, 2022, when we hit this point right here, I was one of those people that was watching these videos, right? I didn't know what was going on. All I saw was YouTubers push these narratives of, 100K Bitcoin, 200K Bitcoin, oh, Solana's going to $1,000, right? All I saw was those narratives, and I'm not going to push that narrative to you guys. Once we do get this feeling, and trust me, you will know when you feel this way, I am going to be making so many videos on exit, right? On exiting the market, on protecting your assets, on what to do now. I want to be that kind of source of truth for you guys, just based on my personal experience, right? Because I'm no different than you guys, right? I was in this market a couple of years ago, and I saw exactly what happened, right? I did relatively well still, but I could have done a lot better if I knew what I knew now. So I want to protect you guys. I want you guys to understand what I understand. So keep your eye out on the price of Bitcoin. I'm going to continue to cover it in my videos. So make sure to stay subscribed and leave a like and comment to boost this video. I will continue making videos all throughout the bull run. I'm not going anywhere, right? I'm trying to keep a more consistent schedule because I'm working full time right now. So it's a little bit difficult, but just stay with me. But yeah, that's going to be it for the video. And I'll see you guys in the next one.